welcome to the first ever episode of the Iron Will Collective podcast with an in-house studio audience. We're not joking this time. We've actually got one. Actually, it's on the internet on Skype. We've got one person watching. We wouldn't dare be so insensitive and cruel to the population and have an extra person over. Social distancing, flatten the curve. Earth is flat. That's it.
Space is flat.
Everything is flat, like a pancake.
Yeah, don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because if they do, they're not real people.
All right, so actually, perfect segue is today we're talking about, God dang it, I ruined the joke already, but I was going to say cyborgs and protein pancakes.
Oh.
I don't know, cyborgs aren't real, what's the right word, like a cybernetic being, like the Terminator?
Yeah, that's what the Terminator was. Are you thinking...
Like not real people, or a clone, maybe clones.
Cyborg, yeah, it's like a human-like robot.
Yes, but you can also have clones. Like, are clones real people? I don't think so.
I mean, I don't know. They've actually cloned goats, though. That's the thing.
But they wouldn't have like an umbilical cord or anything. It's thus like making them not exactly a real person.
Well, let me ask you this: every banana that you've probably eaten is a clone from the original Cavendish banana. Is it not a real banana?
Well, you can also make the further argument that the bananas that we eat today are quite a bit different than the naturally occurring bananas because of the like genetic engineering done on the plant over the years in order to make a profitable fruit.
Yeah. It's that genetic work right there.
Yeah.
Man. I need some of that done to my face.
So that's actually really what we're here for. We're here for cyborgs, we're here for protein pancakes, and we're here for plastic surgery.
Bananas.
And bananas. We're going to swallow them whole, like 5 of them.
That's a really good party trick. You ever tried that?
Yep.
You make a lot of friends.
I do that, and then I was at a very small get-together. Very small, I mind you. Less than 4 people. But one of the people there, they did the coolest party trick I think I've ever seen, and it was a 1-arm push-up. And it was this guy who you look at, and you would never assume that he could do this, but he just had this unmeasurable strength that just appeared out of nowhere. So looks can be deceiving. Well, he was handsome.
Handsome for sure, but man,
handsome doesn't always equal strong.
You know, I gotta be honest. I didn't think that 1-arm push-up was gonna happen, and I think, how many did you get?
He got he was scared to try the left arm, I remember.
Yeah.
But then he did it, and he achieved a rep, at least one. I want to say he did at least a couple with each arm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Definitely a skill.
And that person who did the 1-arm push-up is actually our Skype audience today.
Yeah. Say what's up. All right. We'll edit that in.
Yeah.
Him saying what's up.
Yeah, we'll get the CGI going.
So, what's our topic for the day?
The topic of the day is a podcast is a long form like free-flowing conversation.
Yeah.
So, today we're just going to see where the wind takes us. And we are going to talk about anything and everything under the sun. So,
I'm up for it.
Get your popcorn ready. Get comfy. This is going to be a long one. So, the first thing that I wanted to talk about today was some possible signals that you might get if you are constipated. How will you know if you're constipated?
Ooh, I've got this one. My background and experience with keto has primed me well for this question. Constipation, almost guaranteed.
Well, first, can you give us a quick summary of what is keto?
Okay, keto is eating about 80% of your calories from fat, about 80? No, I'd say about 70% of your calories from fat, so the majority of your calories from fat, about 20 from protein and 10 from carbs.
Well, that you got 110% there.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I do everything 110%. You know that, especially my math.
Yep.
Well, either way, percentages aside, it's the majority of your calories coming from fat, then from protein, which are kept very moderate to low, and then very low from the carbs. So the carbs being just any kind of sugars or starchy carb. You even have to watch the vegetables, like the tomatoes, when you're eating keto. So it gets pretty crazy, and it definitely focuses very heavily on fat. And with that, digestive systems can usually take a gut punch, like literally. It can clog your system up for just a little bit, especially if you don't take the time to ease into the diet. So a lot of times people who just start experience constipation, and it's awesome. It's my favorite thing.
But do you think that would be avoidable if people who started a keto diet didn't just immediately dive balls deep in wanting to just like pee on the stick after one day and be in ketosis? If you were to take a more modest approach to it and gradually decrease carbohydrates and protein from your diet, may you avoid the pitfalls of constipation?
I do believe you may avoid the pitfalls of constipation. That's the major issue. I mean, take this for example. Let's say you buy a pound of nuts, like almonds or something, and you just plow through them because they're so good. You don't stop because it's keto. Not really, but you've eaten all these omelets. Omelets and almonds, and almonds made of omelets. So, okay, you've eaten all those. You're bound to get plugged up. It's bound to happen. It's just simply too much for your system to tolerate all in one go. And so that's the issue when you consume an abundance of fat without priming your digestive system to that. You might get stomach aches, so actually diarrhea is pretty common. But on the alternative hand, you've got the constipation, which really just feels like you have a brick inside of your stomach, inside of your gut. It's frustrating because you kind of feel like you need to go poop and you can't.
So do you know anything about fiber supplements such as like Metamucil or something like that? Are they generally like insoluble fibers or soluble fibers? Like would adding a fiber supplement kick you out of ketosis, or would it be something that would help you to relieve constipation if you are one of those people who is catching that?
Yeah, catching that big C.
Yeah.
Well, oddly enough, it's generally not recommended, and that's because, from what I remember, it's an insoluble fiber. So what it does is help with digestion in most cases, but you've got to remember that it ultimately comes down to the specific enzymes that you are creating favorable conditions for in your digestive system. So
enzymes or like organisms?
Well, both. I mean, the things that would feed off of something like fiber, but also the same things that take your fat and protein and help to break those down.
Okay.
So when taking a fiber supplement on ketosis, it generally has adverse effects like bloating and water retention. So usually less favorable, and you feel it a little more pronounced, I think, especially because the diet is extreme. And so it puts you in a state where you're already a little more prone to prone to reacting more extreme.
Well, it should go without saying that a keto diet or any named diets, they're not for everybody.
No.
And
no matter how popular.
To think, there's one diet, like even if you hear everybody saying, like, say your goal right now is to lose weight, and Big Jim down the street, remember him? Big Jim, he's highly recommending the keto diet along with those protein shakes.
And fasting.
Yes, then that's a commonly coupled thing, is
Yeah.
the keto diet and intermittent fasting. I say if it intrigues you, it seems like something that could fit in your life, go ahead and give it a shot. But don't expect the world out of it. Don't expect it. Like, if it doesn't work out for you, understand that it's going to take a bit of experimentation on your part before you find something that's truly going to be a sustainable approach.
It's helped a lot of people because it helps to create an awareness around what you eat. For a lot of people, that's a start right there, because first of all, finding out what macros are can be a revelation for a lot of people. I mean, we all have to learn it at some point or another, and so I'm not going to judge. Not going to judge if you don't know what a macro is, but once you find out, then you can start to be more aware of your intake and how you ration and divide the specific macros up, and especially having to be more conscious and aware of your fat levels, because that being your primary fuel source, you really have to stock up on it, but you also have to make sure that you're getting a variety of sources. Just the same as, you know, any kind of well-balanced diet, you want a variety of foods. When it comes to keto, you're looking for things that are going to be
only 75-25 beef.
Yeah, the craziest.
Yes.
50-50 if you can. Go to the butcher and just ask, like, he blends it up. I want 50% fat, 50% lean meat, ground beef.
There you go. You got yourself keto-friendly, every day, every meal food option. Well, I just wanted
bacon.
Yes, bacon is solid. But I want to just quickly define macronutrients as being protein, carbs, fat, and they are the nutrients that your body requires in the largest quantity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. They are absolutely vital, and it's part of just having a fundamental knowledge of nutrition in general. So,
again, I didn't learn any of this shit in school. Why do you have to learn geometry but they won't tell you this stuff? Like, they won't make this, just, man, come on.
This should be like basic, like grade 5. All right, kids, we're gonna learn about macros.
But this is we'll save this for episode 16 or whatever, whenever we talked about this stuff.
Yeah.
But still, we're still hot. We're still upset. But it's never too late to learn.
Never gonna simmer down.
Nope.
But no. Okay, all you've got to do, dear listeners out there, Ian,
cook your bacon without a shirt on.
Always cook bacon without a shirt. Download the Nutrition Basics ebook. IronWillCollective.com.
It's super expensive, okay? So you know it's good.
Right. You're getting a great value there. You know, you're
great
paying
value,
as much money as you can
Walmart.
possibly spend. Yeah, great value, Walmart.
Yeah.
Soon to be stocked.
Yes. They've been hoarding the ebooks like toilet paper.
Not cool.
Not cool, but I understand at the same time.
Yeah.
Maybe they've been using it as toilet paper. Even though I'm not sure. You'd be wiping your butt with your phone because it's an ebook or your computer. But anyway, really, really go check that out.
Yeah.
It might help.
Definitely. Because we have recently come across, we have realized, that should be a word. I think realized is sufficient, but we've realized that not everybody who you would maybe assume already knows about macros knows what a macro is. That's just like you said, is basic lingo here. So to learn the vernacular is important, but then more importantly, to learn what it actually is and how it affects you, because you're a people, just like I'm a people. We're all people.
Knowledge is power.
Yes, KIP, KIP, RIP. So, okay, yeah, going back, if you want to get into keto, it sounds like something you'd like to try. Give it a shot. Learn the rules, though. Play the game by the rules. You can't make your own up. Obviously, it's not going to work. Yeah, you can try to, go that route, get constipated. I'll tell you what, it's really easy. A lot of cheese, like too much cheese, till you realize you shouldn't eat that much cheese.
I mean, that's a common thing that you'll hear. I mean, I did learn growing up is if you eat a bunch of cheese, you get constipated. But I'm gonna knock on wood right now.
It's ancient wisdom.
Ancient nutrients. I've never been constipated. Knocking again. And I'm gonna really, really try hard not to get constipated because that sounds horrible.
Doesn't it feel so good to be regular though? Like poop consistently.
My
every
poop is
day?
like my alarm clock oftentimes. Like it'll get me out of bed like in the morning at the same time every morning, which is solid. And not the poop. I mean, it's solid. The poop is doing me a solid. Sometimes it's different consistencies, but you don't want your poop to be solid. Moving on to that now is that you can tell a lot about your health from the state of your shit.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of really cool charts online. I highly recommend looking one up.
So you've got the visual appearance of it. You've got the smell of it.
Yeah.
You got what it sounds like. You got what it tastes like.
Mm-hmm.
And
What is? Oh, you already said sound. Damn.
all right. So what's the other sentence? Why can't I
Feel?
remember? Oh yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
feel it. Yeah, you just gotta grab it. So
Feel it out, man.
So basically, if your poop is nice and compacted and in log form, that could be an early indication of a deficit in your hydration. You might not be like dehydrated, but you probably use some more water.
If it floats, it could possibly be pointing to some kind of indigestion and overabundance of gas, which makes it float.
Or if it completely fills past the water line and it is soft but not diarrhea, then you're good to go.
Dude, awesome. Well, I must say, recently I've been proud of quite a few droppings. I've actually had to share them with the household. Alina's gotten a couple good sites.
That's the benchmark of a good girlfriend is if she'll come in and check out your dump.
She asked, I told her one day, like, hey, I had a really epic poo, capsized, broke the water level. It was one unbroken, like, stream of consciousness. And she's like, did you flush it? You shouldn't have flushed it. Show it to me next time. So I did. But yeah. Just goes to say, hey, you can learn a lot about yourself from your droppings here.
Your pee-pee too.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
If your pee-pee is real dark and real orange, again, you need to step it up with the water drinking. You're gonna want your pee-pee to be nice and pale straw colored. That's how you know that you're in a good level of hydration. So go check it out right now. Go squeeze one out and see what color it is and assess your next move. If it's darker than pale straw, you better drink some water quick or else you're like on death's door.
Yeah, good rule of thumb, drink more water than you want to. How about that?
That's a good rule. Also, another good rule of thumb is that if you are stranded out in the desert and you can't find any water, you can go ahead and drink your pee. You'll be okay.
Especially if it's orange.
Oh, well, it's going to be orange, definitely, if you're out there and you're needing to drink your pee. It's going to be orange. Just pretend it's Tampico.
Oh, isn't that what Fanta's made of, though? Not Tampico, but like the dehydrated person's urine. And they add some orange flavorings, of course, but
I don't know. I haven't been to the movies. I haven't seen the Fanta girls in long enough. Don't you want a Fanta?
Fanta. Always. It's hard to get that out of my head sometimes, but
It's good advertising.
Man, it's viral. Before that was a thing.
It's bacterial.
Proto-virus bacterial Fanta marketing.
All right, we have just opened a brand new door of consciousness here. We are currently available to take freelance philosophy jobs.
Yeah, please. We love to think. We love to think so much that we just sit around and think all day. We don't even get up and move. That's why I got these bed sores. I earned them though, and I'm really proud of them. I don't think of anything like particularly useful, but philosophy questions, send them our way.
Yeah, we won't be able to answer them, but we could at least make fun of your issues, whatever you got.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Again, that brings me to the fact that shame is always the best motivator for change.
Oh man, I think you definitely need a certain level of it. You know why? Shame gets rid of that ego. It helps.
You need to. I think dealing with shame is more of a desensitization process for you yourself, because if you're someone who is in shame a lot for some reason, which is probably not even logical, but you never know what the mind's going to come up with.
Yeah.
It does weird things sometimes, but if you feel shame due to things like, I don't know, something simple like what music you like, you don't want other people to hear what music you like or something like that because you're ashamed of it. That's just, get over it, get out there, listen to your music.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
You really don't.
Yeah, and same with most things. Like, yeah, you should probably be ashamed if you're like out skinning neighborhood cats or something like that. But you got bigger fish to fry at that point. You got more issues than that.
Or if you smell bad.
Or yeah, if you smell bad,
you know it.
okay, that is one that yes, that's inexcusable, unless you are like a bum or something who like you're gonna be expected to smell. If you are someone in the workforce or something like that, because I've had this before, coworkers that don't shower or something, or they just stink. Like, come on, that. Yeah, you can be ashamed of that, but I feel like the people who end up being stinky are the ones that don't have the shame. So
That's true.
I would be very ashamed if I went out smelling terrible, like super bad BO or whatever, or like, or like you need to notice this stuff because it's not respectful to those around you, because that's something you can really help.
It's not courteous at all.
Unless you got like some sort of glandular issue or something like that.
Right.
But even then, you can do something to help.
They've got to make something for that.
But yeah, we're stink shaming here, but I think that's fair because again, like
It is fair, man.
don't.
No.
Go take a shower as needed. You don't even need a shower every day. Like shower as needed. Like if you get sweaty and you start to smell, then you need a shower. But if you are inside all day not doing anything, just change your goddamn underwear. Or there is the ever popular whore's bath.
Yeah.
Where you just wash in a few given areas. Your armpits, your butthole, your crotch, and was it your feet?
I think that was it. Maybe brush your teeth.
Oh, brush your teeth. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, don't even wash your feet. Your feet are fine. Like, you're gonna suck some toes.
Yeah. Other than that, nobody's gonna be down there.
No. So, whore's bath pro tip: go take one today if you stink. And no, if you stink, take a real shower.
Yeah, take a real shower because you need it. It's, man, repulsive sometimes the way people smell. And you're totally right. It's a lack of shame there. It's like to a fault that they have no shame.
Because they've got to notice. Like, because when I smell,
Unless
like,
their nose
I'm the
doesn't
first one to
work.
smell. Like, right now, we just got done with a grueling 2-hour workout. We were very, very sweaty after that. And I can smell myself now. I'm ready for a shower pretty soon here. So, yeah. I could not imagine, like, not showering tonight and then going out tomorrow and, like,
Doing it
working
again?
with somebody or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, no.
Oh, man.
I couldn't bear it just for myself.
It's like the WWE wrestlers that shower before every match. That's why their hair's always wet.
Do they really do that?
I don't know, dude. Why is their hair always wet?
Well, Triple H, he took a big swig of water and spit it all over himself. So
That's true. He has no hair now.
that's true. Yeah, you just get a little wet.
He got rid of it all.
Speaking of which, did a really great Triple H. Triple H. English is my second language. We did a cool Triple H workout the other day. A cool plank variation or prone iso abs, if you will.
Yep.
And basically, Triple H is a badass. He's like an old dude at this point, like compared to us at least. Probably in his 50s.
Oh, yeah.
And he is still crushing his workouts every day, staying in tip-top shape. And guess what? Maybe he'd been on some vitamins or something in the past, maybe. But he's still doing the work needed to maintain his body into the more advanced ages, as you would say.
Man.
And everybody can take some advice from that.
Oh, yeah. He knows a thing or two that...
About the
I think
pedigree.
Very few people would know about. He is the pedigree, man. I haven't really followed wrestling consistently for a long time, like since I was a kid. So I don't really know what's up right now.
I think he's like a general manager of a show or something. I don't know, like Raw or something.
Yeah, well, he
I
ended
don't
up
know.
going into management, but he still stays in shape. But then there's guys like The Undertaker who are just still wrestling, as far as I know. And
My
he's been
brother
going
said The
for-
Undertaker came at like this recent WrestleMania.
Really?
Yeah, and like, dude, he must be super old.
Yeah, super old
Probably-
and
I
still
mean-
has to train like a monster probably.
Similar age as Triple H, I would guess, because they were, very, very popular in the same time frame.
Yeah. I think The Undertaker started in like the late 80s.
Triple H probably did too,
that.
though.
Yeah, he's probably all small. No, that guy's
that's
a
when they're
monster.
at their biggest, is before they got strict about drug testing.
Yeah. Back then it was just like, yeah, they're good, right? Yeah, they're good. No need to worry. Nothing to see here. But it blows my mind how these wrestlers train, because they not only have to train sport specific, but then there's the total body strengthening. I mean, whether they're on a split or not, just their ability to recover in general is very admirable.
Definitely is, and the conditioning that goes into their training is like unreal. Listen to some training from like some of the older wrestlers. Like, if you get a chance, watch that Chris Benoit documentary that came out recently. Very sad, but some good info on training in there, surprisingly. Not surprisingly, I mean, he's an athlete. And then also, if you get a chance, there's this documentary, a ESPN 30 for 30 documentary about Ric Flair, and he talks about the early days and some of his training as well. And oh my God, it sounds horrible.
Do you remember any of the Ric Flair stuff?
Yeah, it was something with a 5-story building or something where they'd have to like run up the stairs and down the stairs multiple times, and then they would have to do it with like a buddy like holding their feet, so they'd have to go up on their hands.
Whoa.
And like just all day long, basically super high volume of super intense stair climbing variations. That was one of the main things that I remember, and that just sounds grueling.
It's like Chris Benoit doing 500, what was it, squats?
Yeah.
Just as punishment for himself because he did an unconvincing move or something.
Yeah, and 500 squats with no just body weight, may not sound that hard, but go out right now, go do 100 right now, and then tell me how you feel after that.
Just
and then do it 5 more times.
Yeah. Okay, think of it this way. Maybe you could do 100 squats in, I don't know, a couple minutes if you had a pretty decent tempo and just didn't stop. So give yourself 10 to 15 minutes to squat and don't stop.
Good freaking luck.
That sounds like fun. Oh my God. But they're crazy. They're on a different level.
But that's
for sure.
that's how you separate a high level athlete from someone who doesn't make the cut.
Yeah.
Is the people who are willing to put in that kind of work. Like with any sport, these are the people that you're seeing on TV are the people who have worked the hardest. Yeah, they might be like predisposed with great genetics as well, but you still got to work super hard to get better and to be able to compete regardless of your genetics. And there are also a lot of people who aren't blessed like that and that have had to scratch and claw for everything, every ounce of their skill. And those people are, I mean, arguably even more admirable. But these are the people you're seeing in any of these sports that you will see on TV, like from from college and up. Like, you're seeing some really high level athletes.
Yeah. Man, I wonder what the percentage is from like high school to college to professional level sports.
Well, it depends on the sport, because certain sports have more positions available, and certain sports have a lot of leagues too. Like, football is the first one that always comes into my mind, and I know that from the NCAA to the NFL, I think it's something like, I don't know, like 2% of people that play make it. So then you can, that might even be a high estimate, because think about it, each team can field a roster during the season of 56 players, I believe it is. And 56 times 32, the amount of teams that are in the league, is something.
Some high number.
So that's not a whole heck of a lot of positions. Like, it's a couple thousand tops. Like,
compared to the number of athletes out there vying for those positions.
Exactly. From high school up to, the number's going to keep dropping and dropping as you increase the level of play. But still, there's way more people who don't make it than do. And if you are someone out there, an aspiring athlete, just know that if you work your hardest, you're going to have a way better chance of making it than most other people, because most people aren't willing to do that.
Yeah, no, you're only going to encounter others who are also working their hardest. And I think that's where
That's
the
gonna up your
competitive
game,
spirit really comes into play. Because if you're not competitive to that degree, then, I mean, obviously, you're probably not going to succeed in any sport, because sport, by definition, is competition. It's competition with yourself, with others, on a team or solo. It really doesn't matter. You just have to have the drive to do better continuously over time. But dude, that's crazy. Like 2% of people who are trying. And
That's a very generous number too. Like, I don't know the exact number, but it's super, super low amount. Like, tonight, we're recording this on Thursday, April 23rd. Tonight is actually the first day of this year's NFL draft.
Oh, wow.
So those select few people are gonna start to get plucked, and then more people still have a chance to make the teams. You know, after the draft, you can go undrafted and still make a team, but not many guys. That's for sure.
man, so kind of just to go back to last episode here, talking about the importance of working hard, and especially if you're aspiring to great heights. I mean, it's always important to give your best effort, but more so the case when you really want to accomplish something huge.
Okay, I have a hypothetical for you here, and I want
Yo.
you to walk me through what you think would be a solid route for me to take
Okay.
to my goal.
Okay.
I'm 18 years old. I want to be an MMA fighter.
Uh-huh.
What do I need to do right now? I've never taken any classes on a discipline. I don't think. I'm fresh, but I think I can do it. So what do I need to do first?
Okay. First things first, I think it's most important to become obsessed, because that's what's going to really spark the furthering of your education. And to be the best at anything, you have to be a student of your craft. And so if you're a painter, it's going to help a whole lot if you've at least studied what it is you're doing, the implements that you use, the different techniques. So the more knowledge that you get, the better. KIP, knowledge is power. So
R.I.P.
RIP, KIP, Kevo. Remember Kevo?
Good
I hope
guy.
he's listening.
Oh, he is. He is. We found his page.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say on thinking about that, that reminds me of that Warren Buffett thing where he says, write down a list of like the 20 things that you want to accomplish in order of like what you want the most. Mm-hmm. And then once you got all 20 things on the list, you cross out 6 to 20 and you spend all of your time focusing on only those top 5 things. Yeah. Making it a point that if you want to get successful at something, you've really got to focus. You've really got to put in the time and effort. It can't just be like a weekend thing for you. Oh. It's got to be like you've got to put blood, sweat, and tears into whatever this is, painting, MMA. If you want to be successful and innovative at something, you're going to need to go way above and beyond.
Mm-hmm. It's going to have to take over your life. That's what your life becomes. And, you know, that's where the benefit of being able to choose what it is you're striving towards comes into play. I mean,
we're not in the Soviet Union right now. We can choose. Right now, you better choose quick, though, because we don't know what's going to happen here. We might be in martial law here.
Dude, you could MMA the shit out of, like, people trying to martial law you into place.
But if you are an MMA fighter and then the government takes over and shuts down all sports or something like that, they're just going to put you in the military.
Just move to Dana White's Island.
How about Easter Island?
Yeah, move to Easter Island. Become a rock. That's all that's left for you. You've become so hard, now you must turn to stone.
That's actually how Dwayne Johnson got his moniker.
Yeah.
And spent a couple weeks at Easter Island.
He's actually made of rock now.
Mm-hmm.
Respect. But, okay.
Man, we talk about a lot of wrestlers on this.
Dude, because wrestlers are pretty cool.
That's true.
Yeah, you can say
physiques.
all you want. Right. And that takes hard work.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless of who you are and what you're taking, it still means you work hard over time.
And you want it.
And you want it bad. And so for them to get to that point to where they're wrestling on TV looking silly to most people, To those who enjoy that type of thing, well, at least for me, I'll speak for myself here. I know that it's taken a lot of hard work, probably more injuries than anybody could count, and a persistence that just does not go away. Like from sun up to sundown, they're only thinking about wrestling. They're only doing that one thing, and everything else in their life contributes towards that overall goal of success in that sport, because it takes over. It takes your whole life. And this is just based off of like the documentaries I've seen and the wrestlers that I've followed over time. It's craziness, dude, but inspiring.
Yeah, definitely. And I would never take away all of that from a wrestler just because pro wrestling is choreographed. Still requires insane physical abilities to be able to do.
Yeah.
Which is like, we know firsthand how difficult it is to build strength and to build a physique and stuff like that. So you got to respect these guys and girls.
Yeah. Well, they, I think from early on, I was able to notice the fact that all these guys were just so obsessed. And that was something that I tried to instill in other areas of my life that I want success in.
Like carpet farming?
Yeah. If you want a carpet farm, you need to be all about it. I don't even know what that is.
Neither do I.
It sounds like it could be a thing.
Sounds pretty cool.
Carpet farmer. They have salt farmers, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Look, you could do anything. It's 2020.
Yeah, you can do anything at any size except be healthy.
Yeah. Still don't remember it. Anything at any size except for be healthy.
Almost anything, because like, let's be honest, you can't make yourself something you're not. You can't be like, I'm gonna be a Martian.
Yeah.
Like, probably not.
Very true.
Like, I'm gonna be a native Martian. Like, I'm not just gonna go to Mars and start living there. I'm gonna rebirth myself there. That's not gonna be possible.
I mean, it's only possible with that mindset, right?
We need the crystals so we can get our time machine working.
Ah, yeah. When's the last time you had your thetan levels measured?
Well, luckily I have my home thetan measuring kit, so I don't have to go to the local, tabernacle.
Yeah, your Scientology tabernacle. So you have those like little metal cylinders that you grip and squeeze really tight. Mm-hmm. They kind of give you a light buzz through your hand. You know what I mean?
I do. My thetan levels are normal. They've always been low.
They fluctuate though. They fluctuate, you know.
I think you have to check after you take your morning shit.
Oh. And were you checking before?
During.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude,
I might have thrown something off, but I don't know.
Dude, what even is a thetan actually? It's like a dark alien soul or something that they're measuring for.
I don't even know. All I know is it's Scientology.
It's totally legit. Yeah,
and it's 100% backed by science.
Yep.
Albert Einstein, actually, the theory of thetans was what got him on the map. That's how he got his other science out. We never would have known who he was. Scientology, break the word down. You got scion, which is short for science. Ontology is the study of science. So you think that science in itself infers that it is the study of, behaviors of things and such, and but this is the study of this stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's like 7 layers deep, like that nacho dip.
Oh, we're Iron Will Collective. Patent, copyright, 7-layer dip recipe coming out this week.
I'm excited for that. Gonna give it a try. Might shorten it to 5 layers. Might bump it up to 8. You never know. Depends on how I'm feeling that day.
How many thetans you got running through that day?
If I measure my thetans during the poop or after the morning poop.
That will dictate the layers in the dip.
Yeah, well, you got to be aware of all those things. But okay. So I'm 18. I want to be a professional MMA fighter. I'm obsessed and focused. I'm learning the lingo. I'm learning the terms that I'm going to need to know going forward. If you wish to be seen as a king, you must dress and act as a king. That's the saying. But we can adapt it here. If you wish to be a professional, you must think and act like a professional. So really take it serious and know that any kind of information and things that you pick up down the line, whether it's from somebody else kind of guiding you like a mentor, or if it's from a learned source, a resource online that's reputable, then that's going to build value and just add to your advantage as both a competitor but also an opponent, because you never know, man. The thing is, when it comes down to something like MMA, it's very real that it really boils down to who prepared more, who worked harder.
I don't think I can take one of those face slaps, to be honest.
The
Sounds
open
painful.
palm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some awful videos of like shins just wrapping around other guys' legs from bad kicks. Oh, that's always good. And
That's why if you're going to kick, you got to kick in the nuts. Don't kick someone in the leg.
always, if you're gonna punch the ears.
Yeah.
If you're gonna jab the eyes or the throat. We play by the rules.
Yeah, fight like Captain Insano.
Dude, that was the Big Show.
Yeah. Oh man, I saw on Netflix that the Big Show has his own show. It's called the Big Show Show.
What?
Yeah,
He's not big anymore though.
That's true. He did trim down a little bit, but wow, it looks horrible. Looks absolutely awful.
It's weird, man. It's like, I don't ever want to knock somebody for getting healthier, but when like people who you're used to seeing in a larger state change into a smaller state for health related reasons, my God,
Well,
sometimes
Big
it
Show
can be
was
upsetting.
like 500 pounds, back 20 years ago.
He was big.
That's what they touted him as in wrestling. So you're not gonna live long at that size, regardless of your frame. Like that is huge, and he was definitely fat. Like
Yeah,
he was fat.
the power belly.
Oh yeah, and no doubt that he was probably insanely strong, but
Yeah.
you had quite a bit of fat on him as well, and that's not going to play in your favor as far as longevity is concerned.
No, absolutely not. Can you imagine how much he had to eat to maintain that
Oh
size?
my god, like easily, he's probably going on like 8,000 calories a day at least, maybe.
If he was shooting for half a gram of protein per pound of body weight, that's still 250 or so grams of protein. You know how many eggs that would be?
Enough to give you
like
depression.
100?
That's for sure.
That's definitely in depression land. Maybe he was depressed. Maybe he's like, Big Show sad. Big Show can't tie shoe. Big Show need get smaller.
And Big Show only had enough money for eggs because he had a chicken coop, so that's all he was eating was his home hatched eggs. He was eating hatched eggs. He's eating these little baby chickens. Got more protein.
Yeah, extra protein.
Yep, and extra collagen in the beak.
Yeah.
You got to get the keto protein peptides.
They go down smooth if you're the Big Show.
Yep.
His throat muscles are probably the strongest out there.
Yep, smooth.
It's very, very smooth cardiac muscle. No, dude, I heard that he lost most of his weight doing keto and intermittent fasting.
Wow, and brought us full circle here. So I wonder if he is constipated often.
I don't know, man. Think about just the sheer amount of food he was taking in on almost
But think
daily
about
basis.
the sheer amount of food that he still needs, because I guarantee you he's still high 200s at absolute lightest. Absolute lightest.
Fat's more dense though, so you don't need as much of it. And if that's your main nutrient, then I think it's easier to hit a target number. 'Cause that's
Possibly, but I mean, I'm sure eating
Still a
a
lot.
proper amount is not difficult, being as though he's been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
And
It's
now
his
he's just
job.
like, it's probably harder, if anything, to cut back and limit the calories.
Yeah, eat differently. Maybe he's just benefiting from more sustained energy or something.
Maybe, but I mean, who are we to know? We've never been anywhere
ask
close to that size. We should.
We're gonna interview him next pod here.
Yep, we're
next
getting the
week.
Big Show on the podcast. You heard it here first. Tell your friends.
Well, it's the Big Show.
I'm just a sexy boy.
Sexy boy.
Shawn Michaels coming on next week, by the way. I mean, that's
Next week.
Next week. Yes.
We're gonna talk about the feud.
We're gonna talk about the future.
But do you know Big Z, the powerlifter? Not powerlifter. He's a strongman. So Big Z, Zydrunas Civicus, I think.
I feel like I've heard you say the name before, but I don't know him.
Yeah, he's from. Ooh.
Poland?
Lithuania. He's from Lithuania. And he was the world's strongest man. I think he holds the most world's strongest man titles and just like most titles in general. According to him, he has a whole room dedicated to his trophies in his house. And I believe him because this guy was killing it for a really, really long time. And as of recently, he still competes, but he's a little more advanced in the years. You know, I think he's like maybe mid 40s now. And,
Past his prime.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a good like 15 to 20 year like lifting career thus far and still going. And remember, he's pushing like 1 rep max often. He's maxing out for competition often.
The Bulgarian method.
Yeah. Oh yeah, every day, twice a day to warm up. Thrice a day to get going. But no, he's crazy. So he trained really hard, but he didn't really have a good physique for a long time if your definition of good physique was relatively lean. He had an absolute power builder physique or power lifter physique with the power belly. I think he was one of the first guys to like really popularize that, but he was a huge guy back in the day. And as of late, like the last few years, he also dropped down in weight. So he's a lot leaner now. I think he competes with abs, which is crazy. And so like even his face looks different. But also keto and intermittent fasting. I don't know. It seems to work for some people.
All right, well, I guess it works for everybody. So if you're listening
yeah, it
to
works
this right
for
now,
these two crazy guys.
get rid of every carbohydrate in your house.
Never touch it again.
Never touch it again.
No fiber.
Drink lots of salt water. And, get rid of that Metamucil. Flush it. You'll be all right. You'll be the Big Show / Big Z in a couple of weeks, I would say.
Yeah.
So for me, the 18-year-old who wants to be an MMA fighter, all I really heard was get on keto and intermittent fasting, and then I'll be where I want to be.
Yeah, baby. Nah, I think that's a good weight loss tactic, if anything. And
it's a good option for sure.
Yeah, good option.
Or it can be a good option.
I think that it makes things very complicated in terms of building muscle, though, if that's your goal, or putting on weight. And I'm just speaking from experience. As somebody who had good results subjectively with the diet, I felt better eating that way. It was extremely hard, or it has been extremely hard to gain any sort of weight with that diet. So, you know, like we say, explore your options. There's no one way, but just know that everything has its drawbacks, and there are trade-offs.
Because with keto and with the restriction of carbs, your body, carbs are going to be the ultimate, or not the ultimate, I guess the ultimate, but the preferred source of energy to fuel your day-to-day processes.
Yeah.
And yes, your body can function once you start to get into ketosis, and you can produce that energy through your fat. But anytime carbs are present, your body's going to want that. So there's nothing wrong with giving your body what it wants and what it needs, unless you are, I don't know, don't be scared of carbs, basically.
Yeah, no, definitely not. They're not evil.
They're actually really good, especially if you're looking for athletic performance. Carbs are going to be hugely beneficial. So taking them, again, we were kind of talking before about your peri-workout nutrition. I hate that word. Peri-workout means just your nutrition before, during, and after your workout. Typically, most people are going to recommend carbs in any of those, depending on, you know, what it is that you're doing. But carbs before the workout to make sure that you have adequate energy in storage in your muscles to handle a intense bout of training. Intra-workout, if you're doing a long bout of training and you need to re-up there in between. And post-workout to replenish what you have used up. With a keto diet, I can see, I don't know, I don't know how you would feel doing, you know, super intense physical activity, and how the results would be long-term without a notable amount of carbs, like not like 50 grams below or whatever you have to whatever your allotment is to keep you in ketosis.
I think there's a noticeable detriment to your performance for sure. I mean, you're not going to be maxing out the same way as if you were ingesting carbs.
So for people like Big Z, was he using IF and keto in the off season and then switching to a different diet in the on season in order to support his performance needs?
I think so, although I'm not too sure. It makes most sense to me, at least from a performance standpoint. You'd want to make sure you have your body in the best possible position to do the most amount of work.
But typically when a strength competitor is needing to cut weight, that would be in season before their competition. So I don't know. I could see that being detrimental, but I guess it really depends person to person. Like maybe he feels just as strong, but just what you know about carbohydrates and their place in your metabolism, it seems like it would be silly to abstain from them in a performance scenario.
Yeah.
But I guess you got to do what you got to do if you want to cut weight.
Seriously. I mean, he had a lot to lose, quite a bit, and I'm sure that there's been little to, well, I'm just going to leave it at little effect to his overall health and well-being. I mean, I don't think that somebody would want to keep pursuing the keto lifestyle if it didn't feel good overall. I mean, the fact that he's gotten leaner and
He's just like, I feel like shit.
yeah, I'm going to keep doing this.
Oh, yeah.
I feel worse than before, worse than ever before. Doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, I'm assuming that it's been beneficial, although maybe it was just like a shorter term thing in the long span or the long view of things, where it was just used to drop weight once, and then from there practice more moderation when it came to nutrients, and after having reset things like his insulin tolerance and just kind of let his body and digestion take a little bit of a break from the normal routine he'd been doing for decades. Maybe that was the case. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? No,
We're
we'll
gonna ask
never
him.
know. Yeah, we'll never know until we get him on the podcast in 3 weeks after we interview Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. Big Show, Michaels, and Big Z.
Yeah, but only big people, but big Shawn Michaels,
Yeah.
for those of you who didn't know. But so we are within the last few minutes of what we got. Do you have anything else that you'd like to add today?
Okay. Little recap. Boom. Just
From constipation to keto.
Yep.
The Iron Wheel Collective story.
damn. This should have been the start of our documentary. We'll just start filming now.
Docu-series.
Yeah. Like 2 hours long each episode.
Limited edition.
7 seasons. It's that good. Okay, so to recap, we started at constipation and then took the conversation into keto. So you can ease your way into keto and not get constipated for the most part. Of course, everybody reacts differently, so that's where experimentation comes into play. But as mentioned earlier, knowing kind of the rules or the parameters, the basic guidelines to embarking on a new style of eating is going to be extremely beneficial moving forward. And I always encourage more further learning. Likewise, if you're an 18-year-old who wants to be an MMA fighter and you've got nothing but time on your hands and a dream to get you by, then you need to get focused and figure out, look to those who have been successful in your field, into your field of choice, and then start studying. Just become a student, have an open mind, and then from there, take action.
For this 18-year-old as well, me, I think it'd be a good idea to do a good amount of work toward this every single day. No days off. If you want to make headway with this, you're going to need to be training physically for it. You're going to need to be doing your education, like you said. Right now, since it's not really possible to go to a gym or anything like that, you're going to have to reap what the internet has there for you.
Probably a lot.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. But bottom line is you can occupy a lot of time in a day putting your actions toward your desired goal. Training, education starts today, never ends, every single day. If you want this to happen, then you've got to get strict. You've got to be a good boss and a better employee for yourself.
Yeah, your results don't always reflect your efforts, but they eventually do catch up to each other.
There's many cliches you can go on, like the one that says if you read like 300 books a year or something like that, you become an expert in your field within a couple of years, stuff like that. But I believe it, honestly. Like if you just spend your time and you hyper focus on what it is you want to accomplish, you're gonna get it done.
Well, my other favorite cliche is we all have 24 hours in a day. I mean, just depends how you use it, whether you're Bill Gates or you're the guy who stands on the corner of the street panhandling all day.
Bill Gates, get us our microchips.
Yes. I already have mine. Did you not tell?
You got that brain slug.
Hypnotoad. So, yeah, in closing, back to keto. Oh, wait, we forgot to mention the wrestlers again here on the recap. So wrestlers are a prime example of dedication, persistence, and what would you say?
Any high-level athletes.
Yeah, no. Not just wrestlers. I mean, anybody, because the percentage of people who make it is so small. So you have to understand that to even be competitive, you have to stand out by being one of the best. To be one of the best takes all your effort.
And you also have to understand that these guys, even if they did start out with better genetic potential, they all started from nothing and had to create this themselves. Put in hard work. So that's the formula. If you want something, that's how you get it.
Yep. Over time, doing pretty much the same thing every single day for a good while.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, until that turns into the next thing that you do. So
profit.
Profit. So I think we've did it. We've done it. We've done it again.
Again, for an 18th episode. Thank you all who have been joining us throughout this journey. Hope you enjoyed the episode. And again, remember, if you have anything that you would like to hear on the podcast, any questions, any topics in particular, please let us know, because we are always looking for new things to talk about, especially things that are going to be relevant to you, the audience.
Yeah, we love to help in any way that we can, and what better way than for you to tell us what you need to know about.
Yep, we really appreciate it, and we already appreciate what you've done so far. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Good night.